High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. Cheney and Mead have had each other circled on their dance cards for a couple of weeks now as the 5-1 Blackhawks take on the 5-1 Panthers from a packed Union Stadium here in Mead. So great to have you here on this Friday night alongside the great Mike Peterson. I'm Greg Talbot. We're happy to have you because this is unquestionably the game of the night in the Greater Spokane League. Cheney, the number one defense, against Mead's number one scoring offense.
And two of the elite ones, as you said, with that 5-1 record, and this is clearly an elite game. Now, what's amazing, look at the Mead offense, number one. They're number 3 in defense, and if you talk to the coaching staff of Mead, they would say the identity of their team starts with the defense, especially with two Division I players on that side of the ball. Cheney, number 1 defensively, they as well. They're number 3 offensively. Both teams very balanced. I expect just one whale of a battle of a game tonight.
Look at that, only 906 yards allowed through the first 6 games. The Mead offense is going to have their work cut out for them tonight. We've been waiting for this one as well. We cannot wait to bring it to you after the break. Kickoff just minutes away. A pair of 5-1 GSL powerhouses as the Panthers and the Hawks get together. High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. Kickoff just a minute away here between Mead and Cheney, a pair of 5-1 programs. And Mike Peterson, this game does have playoff implications. Now, both of these schools are pretty clearly, as you take a look at this, going to make the playoffs because there is a split between 3A and 4A. But this is about as good as it gets this year in terms of preparing for a playoff game.
Well, if you look at the top 4 teams, Gonzaga Prep 4A, and they are dominant. They are in the state championship race. But right on their heels, Mount Spokane, 3A team, beat Mead in the Bell 2 weeks ago, the
Close
Battle
game.
of the Bell. And then you got Cheney, they're 3A. Just a couple of years ago, they were 2A. So they're growing out there in Cheney and bumping up the 3A status. And then Mead, 4A as well. So it's pretty safe to say at this point in the year, unless the wheels fall off, all 4 of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. It's just where the seeding aligns.
You mentioned the growth happening out there in Cheney. It's not just the new houses. It's not just the high school football program getting better. If you were going to buy stock in a high school football program, Cheney's where you should be putting some money for the next couple of years. What a turnaround compared to last year.
And the weight room.
Yeah.
Brand new weight room in Eastern's backyard. Coach Aaron Best, he's got a son on the team. You see that with Grahams there at coaches, both the Grahams, They're Division I guys, and you're seeing a Division I program, not just offensively, defensively, and schemes. You're seeing as far as the training aspect as well. So they've got all the tools, Greg.
Plenty of kids who have experience with their dads coaching on the Eastern staff. Mead, of course, has been a high school football powerhouse for a long time, and it looks like the Panthers are going to be receiving the ball first tonight. Back to receive for them, Tice Tuggle and Max Fagau. Those are two of the fastest guys, two of their three heads at running back, Mike.
They've had quite a posse there at running back tonight, and physical as well.
So it'll be Tuggle and Fagau again. They'll be joined in the backfield tonight by Hayden Coons and Dustin Johnson. A lot of running back looks for this Mead team. And to kick it away for Cheney, Cade Adderley. Blackhawks have won 2 in a row. Beat up Shadle 61-0 and took down Central Valley 37-7 last week. This is a team looking for a statement win tonight. Can they get it against the big-name Mead Panthers? And away we go from Friday night at Union Stadium. Line drive kick to Fagau. He'll let it go, and good field position on the touchback for the Mead Panthers offense. Mike Peterson, tell us about this Mead Panthers offense.
Well, this Mead Panther offense, they are explosive. We saw those numbers earlier in the year. This quarterback, first-year starter as a senior, has not thrown an interception all season long. I mean, you think about that. 6 games in, have not thrown an interception. Both teams take care of the ball. Physical runners as well. We talked about Fagau. Not only is a bruiser as a running back, he also plays linebacker. That explains his physicality.
Landon Thomas back to receive the snap. Hands off to Max Fagau. Short gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and long. First year for Mead's head coach, Kyle Snell. He came over from Lewis and Clark, carrying over a long tradition of success. This is a team that really impressed a lot of people last year, and they're planning on doing it again because of how balanced they are.
And both teams tonight are very balanced, which makes this interesting upper-tier matchup very intriguing.
Lee Colombe in motion, and they'll give it to him. Tries to cut up field, but the backs in the secondary ready for a short gain. Lee Colombe, the number 2 wide receiver in the Greater Spokane League this year. We are going to hear his name a lot tonight, Mike.
Yes, we are. I tell you, this Cheney defense, incredible what they've done. To think where this program was the last couple of years, the numbers were down, they weren't winning games, and a complete turnaround this season in the GSL.
So that number 1 Cheney defense holds Mead to 2 yards and change on their first 2 plays of the game. 3rd down and long. Thomas over the head of Fagau as that play was breaking down, but he had good recognition of when that pocket was coming, Mike.
Yes, he did. That's that clock in a quarterback's head. He was looking downfield, went through his progressions. He was under pressure, hurried that throw, sailed a little high, but that was a correct read.
So 3 and out for Mead on their opening possession. What a stand by this Cheney defense. They're for real.
They are definitely for real. The weight room is paying off. And Cheney should have really good field position after this punt.
Donovan Damiano back to punt. High spiraling kick inside the 40-yard line, and we will get our first look at this Cheney offense. And Mike, as you pointed out on the pregame show, Cheney's defense is kind of their top billing tonight, but their offense is absolutely no slouch.
Oh, not at all. So Connor Collins, he's just a junior. And look at his numbers. And those 17 touchdowns, 15 through the air, 2 on the ground, only 1 interception. When do you see this? 1 interception between both starting quarterbacks. He came in as a sophomore last year, so he's not coming in green as a junior, really coming into his own. And he's intelligent. You'll see him check. He's not afraid to call audibles at the line of scrimmage.
And here he is, the 6-foot junior. Handoff up the middle. That's Chris Wilson, goes ahead of steam for 4 yards. Chris Wilson, what a story. He took over at the beginning of the season when Ashton Schweideman got hurt. And even with Schweideman hurt, Chris Wilson became the number 1 rusher in the GSL, Mike.
Yes, he did. So in 6 games, 502 yards, he's almost 100 yards a game. Become a very reliable running back for this Cheney offense.
500 total yards, 7 touchdowns on 62 carries, 8 yards a carry. Pretty impressive. Collins steps up and escapes. He's got a first down. Down inside Mead's 40. Look at that. You know, they say he takes care of the ball, Mike, but he took care of that to carry it when the play was breaking down. He's got some speed.
He took care of the yardage along with the ball security.
Not bad, and that's the first down of the game we have seen after Mead goes 3 and out to begin this thing. Cheney, as you can already see, runs a spread offense. They run it about 60% of the time. A lot of play action, a lot of zone runs. They like to keep the defenses on their toes. And here comes one of those zone runs to Wilson. Got about 5 yards out of it as they go back to him.
And that is running over a tackler. Boy, that contact, the tackler went down and got another 2-3 yards after contact.
We have a pair of extraordinarily physical running backs tonight. Chris Wilson, you see there for Cheney. But Max Vigao for Mead is going to get more carries. He is also just an absolute pile driver.
Something we're going to focus on. I mean, Yaks and me being a receiver, it was always get the yards after catch, but you're running back, it's yards after contact. So we're going to keep an eye on that one tonight.
2nd down and 6, another 4 wide receiver look for Cheney. It's play action. Collins gets rid of that thing just in time. That's an incomplete pass. Mead got in there quick. It was Josh Weekly, the first among equals, but also the great Garrett Miller, number 20, the Idaho State commit.
And you can see the ball clearly was going forward. At least that's what we saw real time. And with the defender pulling his arm down, the ball just dribbled out. So that was not a fumble, nor was that intentional grounding. That was just a strip by the defense.
Cooper Dane's also the first to get his actual hand around Connor Collins. He's a Washington State commit. He and Miller, an absolute pair of terrorizers on the D-line. 3rd and a long 5. Here goes Collins. Throwing. That's going to be close along the far side.
Ball a little high.
Cheney says they have it. That's Tank Best, who had his hands on it. Referees talking it over quickly here.
Trying to do the one-legged toe dance.
Incomplete is the initial ruling on the field. That'll bring up 4th down. But this is interesting field position for high school, Mike.
It is, but I would say in this game, inside the 40, it's probably 4-down territory. And any time now in high school, oftentimes you get inside the 50, it's 4-down territory.
Collins out of the gun, Wilson with him. 4th down. Timeout on the field. Mead did not like what they saw.
No, they did not.
Timeout, Cheney, rather. Mead was the first one to run off the field. I think they were happy to see it.
Maybe that's what it was. And let's get to the keys here.
Yeah, Mike, let's do our keys to the game. Presented by Mike Peterson, presented by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with Game Day Grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. Mike, what do you have?
Well, let's start with that Blackhawk logo, the Cheney Blackhawks. When we talk adjustments on the fly, this is this influence. You have Eastern Washington University in the backyard. You have head coach Aaron Best, his kid on the staff. You've got former Eastern Washington University coaches. They are running college-level schemes. And on both sides of the ball, they have college-level calls, adjustments, and that's what I mean, adjustments on the fly. They'll check out both offensively and defensively on what's called. Mead, on the defense, we talked about sets a tone. When you've got 2 D1 players on your defense and a front 4 that can play a 4-3 or zip to a 3-4 depending on matchups, defense definitely sets a tone for the Mead Panthers.
Cheney going for it on 4th down and 6 on their first possession. Collins. Mead only brings 4. Collins down the side. This is going to be a tough throw. That one is knocked away and incomplete. Mead takes over. Good stop by their defense. They really dropped a lot of guys back.
No, they certainly did. And when you're talking 4th and 5, plus that pressure up the middle, and Collins took he got a wallop right there at the end of the throw.
Pass intended for Mason Stinson. Going to be hearing his name a lot tonight. 16.5 yards per catch. He's their deep threat.
Yeah, and then look at number 9, Lee Colomb. Look at in the corner back position how he closed on that ball and knocked it down. some great closing speed right
there.
there.
A lot of two-way players for this Mead team. If you're a star, you're going both ways.
No doubt about it.
All right, Mead will get their second look on offense here from their own 35 after they went 3 and out on their first possession. Only got a couple of yards. Flags coming everywhere. That'll be on Mead and likely the offensive line.
There were just 3 seconds on the play clock. And when it ticks down like that, players get a little antsy and you get a little twitch in there. Next thing you know, it's dead ball and you're giving up 5 yards.
More distance to go for this Mead team. Thomas hands off to Fagau. Gets out just about back to the original line of scrimmage, but no, stays on his feet toward the 40. That's what we're talking about, Mike Peterson. He does not go down. He had 120 yards after contact alone last week against Ridgeline.
And that was 4 yards after contact with probably 6 white shirts around him. This guy is incredibly physical.
That was a lot of guys. How many was that, 6 or 7?
I counted 6 or 7. It was a lot. Let's just say it was a mass of white jerseys, and he kept plugging.
Justin Johnson, the bruiser, lining up at H-back for the Panthers now. On second down, back to Fagau they go. He'll take more contact. Gets to the 40, short gain that time. Cheney ready along the outside.
I'm impressed with Cheney's tackling. They've got really solid form tackling.
Doubly hard to bring down Fagau because not only is he a bruiser at running back, he's also the starting middle linebacker.
That's it.
How often do you see that two-way?
You don't see that very often. And then number 49, Dustin Johnson.
Oh, he's a star in the making.
As him as a lead fullback. If your O-line doesn't blow open some holes, he certainly will.
Third down and a long 5. 3 wide out look. Thomas downfield for Lee Colombe, and he just overshot him. Lee Colombe is their deep threat. He has the speed to get open downfield, and we saw it, just missed him.
It was about a yard over his head. Otherwise, that is a big play completion. 1, 2, 3, and away the ball goes. It's to the outside shoulder, just a little to the outside.
People talk about Landon Thomas's IQ, his escapability. He's got a big arm. And here they go. 4th down and 5. They'll run their offense out. But Thomas can also punt. And he will punt here. From inside the 30. Here comes Cheney to return. This is Houndanubu. Gets to about the 45-yard line. 6:46 to go here, Mike. So a lot of defense. What's standing out to you so far here in the first quarter?
The physicality of both teams. Both teams, you can tell, they take the weight room serious and their training serious. And they play fast. They play physical. They play fast. Tough competitive matchup.
Well, that is a murderer's row of a defensive line for the Mead Panthers. Garrett Miller, the Idaho State commit. Cooper Daines, the Washington State commit. As a junior, no less. They picked him up last year when he was starting to make problems for teams in the backfield. Also, other big guys like the junior Josh Weekly. This team has a lot more room to grow in the future as well. 1st and 10 on the ground. 4 or 5 yards on the play. That is Ashton Schweideman. That is his first carry of the game. It's only his 4th game this year due to an early injury. But, Mike, since he came back, he's already got 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. He made up for lost time.
Yes, he has. Wilson with 7 rushing TDs, and right behind him is Schweideman with 4 rushing TDs.
He's a faster back than Wilson is. Wilson is more contact-seeking.
And not forget those 2 touchdown rushes for Cheney's quarterback.
Collins throws far side. That's a complete pass to Tank Best. He's got some room inside the Mead 35. First complete pass of the night for Tank Best. You might have guessed he's the son of Eastern's head football coach, Aaron Best.
And if anyone knows Aaron Best, he was a lineman. Now his son is a wide receiver, but Tank, what a name for wide receiver.
Pretty good, right?
Yep, that's classic Aaron Best.
What a stiff arm. Are you kidding me?
Talk about the weight room. I guarantee you he lives in the weight room.
Yeah. One of the most targeted receivers in the GSL. That was his 24th catch of the year. New first down for the Blackhawks. Up the middle at Schweideman. Got about 4 yards. 130 yards last week alone in their 37-7 win against Central Valley. Talk about how the GSL is changing. A couple of years ago, CV was just about undefeated, but with Ridgeline and everything, the league is changing.
Well, and we were talking about that. So you've got Ridgeline, University High School, and Central Valley.
Yeah.
Central Valley High School was the largest school in that school district, but with the realignment of Ridgeline, Ridgeline's 1, U High's 2, CV is now 3rd in total enrollment.
2nd and 7. Sweep play. It's Best again. They go back to him. Dives ahead for another 3 or 4 yards. This will be 3rd and short as it takes us down inside 5 minutes in the first.
Now, when we're thinking situational here, especially with 3rd and 1, clearly we're 4-down territory. If we get into a 4th and long situation, we saw in the kickoff, it was a low line driver, but 62 yards off the foot on the kickoff. So there is some range.
3rd down and 2 for Cheney. Approaching field goal range if they're not already in it. Collins fumbles it. Schweideman falls on it. And a break for Mead on defense. And look at Max Fagau. On their defense as the middle linebacker, also the starting running back. He's everywhere.
Oh, yes, he is. Physical, fast, and if you put the ball on the ground, if you're Cheney, you're lucky to get the ball back.
Especially considering how fast those big guys are for Mead.
These are the drive killers. You get these negatives, especially self-inflicted, when you don't get a clean handoff. Advantage back to Mead.
Cheney will keep their offense out again. 4th down and 7 with a 4-wide outlook. Collins throws way short. Pass was intended for Blake Kernan, who is not a major wide receiver for them, as that falls short and Mead takes over.
Well, yeah, and actually it might have been for Tank Best, but Tank got tanked by the defensive back. He got chucked downfield, which is legal until the ball's in the air, and literally knocked Tank to the ground. So I'm not sure who he was throwing to, but that play had no chance.
Both of these teams not only have great defensive lines, but also defensive backs who know how to be physical without getting a flag pulled. So Mead again. And again, it's Landon Thomas. We saw he has an arm. We've seen that he can run. And they'll have him run on 1st down. Behind some blocks, gain of about 5 yards.
Now, Mead has tried to run A gap, B gap, and now they're saying, okay, let's see if we can poke some holes in this defense by going to the edge and get outside the hash mark.
He's a smart quarterback, but this Cheney defensive line has some ideas. This Cheney defense likes to show different looks and rush different backs to keep offenses guessing. It's Fagau. Big 1st down for the Panthers.
And you watch these white shirts of Cheney, there is a lot of higher-end schemes. There is a lot of pre-snap movement, but he punched right through and up the middle, no hesitation. And he's going to run through arm tackles. You've got to get a shoulder into him. You've got to hit him low.
Cheney keeps only putting 3 down, but they're bringing some guys from the edge on almost every play. 1st down Mead. Fagau out of the backfield. Thomas running. And he throws it away. Man, see, Cheney dropped so many guys back there, and Thomas had truly nowhere to go.
No, great coverage, and quarterback did a good job there. That's heads up. Get outside the pocket. Nothing's there. Don't take a negative and throw it out of bounds beyond the line of scrimmage. And I really like. It was 2-3 years ago when high school level, that would have been intentional grounding, and they adopted the college rule. So if you're outside the pocket and get the ball out of bounds beyond the down box, then you're good to go. No penalty.
2nd and 10. Thomas hands off up the middle. Fagau again. Got right up against the 48-yard line of the Blackhawks. If he didn't get it, he's just inches short. Man, Mead, they run the ball a little more than 60% of the time, but they pride themselves on their passing and rushing yardage being just about equal. Clearly the plan tonight is to go to Fagau.
That's what we're seeing. Fagau left, Fagau right, Fagau at the edge. And Fagau maybe catching a pass or two out of the backfield.
Mead having some trouble deciding exactly what they want to do as they get a late package of players onto the field, although the clock had not started yet, so that it's lucky for them. A long play clock here, still about 25 seconds to get this one off as they consult with their first-year head coach, Kyle Snell. Cologne lined up on the near side of the field, their deep threat. And now they'll put him in motion. And it is Cologne trying to get north-south. And a great ankle tackle for a gain of 2 yards.
The spacing of the Blackhawks defense is really solid tonight. You're not getting two guys stacked with each other. They are very aware, very spatially aware on defense to minimize the gaps these running backs can run through.
And is that natural chemistry or is that great coaching?
It's great coaching. That is coaching. Yeah, at the high school level, to put 11 players out there, that's not going to come natural. It is clearly that next level coaching.
Ball on the ground. Mead's got it. Heads up. Second fumbled snap we've already seen here in the first quarter, Mike.
And both came on second down, and these are drive busters. The penalties, the negative yardage plays, and both times muff snaps. Muff snaps, handoffs.
Taking a while on some of these play calls for Mead. You'd think they'd be going a little quicker here.
Yeah, they're going at a slower pace, but still 15 on the play clock, and they don't huddle up, so they can get in the play pretty quickly.
3rd down and 11 after the loss. Thomas will look deep. Downfield they go. Sideline. Hauled in. And caught by Lee Colombe. They used him on sweeps, and now they finally get him downfield for a big gain of nearly 20 yards.
Big play Cologne averaging almost 23 yards per reception.
Talked earlier about his speed that gets him open downfield. Turns out he has great hands and tight coverage as well.
Yeah, watching that ball all the way in.
Tightly run route, and that'll take us down to the end of the first quarter. No score, but Mead is finally making a push into Cheney territory.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter, where our score is Panthers 0.
High school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Findlay Downtown Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay. And by Top Dog Plumbing and Drain, locally owned and operated. Our pledge is to bring you unmatched service and expertise for your home or business. Don't settle for a good dog. Go for the Top Dog. No score here between Cheney and Mead, a pair of 5-1 teams at the end of the first quarter. This Mead team, 5-1, the number one offense in the Greater Spokane League. They have had nothing going so far, but they're finally, for the first time, inside the Cheney 30 for a new first down. Up the middle to Max Fagau, and Mead does have a spark. Fagau to the end zone. Mead's on the board.
Well, Fagau shows you right there, you cannot keep that guy down. Off the left side, busted right through the line. He showed some closing speed as well to get to that cone.
Made a couple plays on defense before the commercial break at the end of the first quarter. Talk about a do-it-all guy. A couple great blocks not only from the offensive line, but also his receivers to make that happen.
Absolutely. Next level downfield.
Donovan Damiano, one of the great kickers in the area, is on. He puts it through. We'll take our first break. 7-0 Mead after Max Fagau makes it happen from 29 yards out. What a run. Tonight's coverage of high school football and SWX is brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at the Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. You know who's the best, Mike Peterson, is Max Fagau, the Mead running back who just put them on the board. What a run that was.
It was a beautiful run, and just slipped an arm tackle, and he showed his great speed as well, getting to the cone. That was just no contest against Fagau.
So 7-0 Mead to open up the second quarter, a matchup of two 5-1 teams who have been waiting on this game for weeks. The question now, after a slow offensive start to this game, do the Cheney Blackhawks have the ability to expand where they're going with the ball so Mead can stop keying on their two best players?
And more on that after the kickoff.
Damiano, line drive. He's a guy with a couple of Division III offers so far as that one heads out of bounds and gives Cheney great field position. Yeah. Okay, Mike Peterson, so far, Connor Collins has looked good at quarterback. Wilson and Schweideman effective at running back, but they have not gotten their pass game going. How do they do that?
And that's exactly what we're seeing here is I think to open up the run game, you've got to open up the passing game and get a little more respect and spread the ball to multiple receivers. I believe that'll open up the run game.
Well, Cheney certainly has more receivers. They've exclusively gone to Tank Best so far, although Mason Stinson on the other side of the field from Best is certainly no one to shake a stick at. Best and Stinson, those are two of the top 10 wide receivers together in the Greater Spokane League.
And that's why I say spread the ball. Don't just be isolated to one receiver. There's a lot of nice receivers on this Cheney team.
So Tank Best, you see him there, son of head coach Aaron Best for Eastern Washington. He's in the slot. with Mason Stinson at the bottom of your screen. On the new first down, up the middle, it's Chris Wilson. They go back to him after he had the first series of the game. Picks up 6 or 7 yards.
And you'll take that. Any offensive coordinator, you get 5+ yards on first down, you'll take that. Doesn't matter whether it's on the ground or through the air. But I think we'll see Cheney start to do more first down passing as well, rather than run on the first down. But if you can get 6 yards up the middle, stick with that.
And this is the junior Connor Collins out of the gun. Back to the ground, and Mead was ready. Holy cow. That was awfully impressive in from Sean Jones.
A +6 followed by a -2.
Wow.
Greg, could you say that's going to the well one too many times?
Talk about an immovable object on defense. The unstoppable force had no chance. What a tackle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's when you feel the next day. That's a bruising tackle.
Big third down now for Cheney. Don't want to punt it away after Mead scored. There was contact, and that flag is going to come in favor of Cheney.
Yep, 2 flags, easy call. Even from our distance up here, you could tell that was pass interference. When you see the jersey get tugged and the ball's not there yet, out comes a flag.
Back interference. That'll be 15 yards from the previous slot.
If you can see it happen in real time, there's no question.
There is no doubt. And when you get multiple yellow flags out there.
They all came at the same time,
that's
too.
That's kind of a no doubt, yeah. And the body language of the defensive back is just walking away. It's going, yep, I'm guilty. If all calls were that easy for the referees.
So true. All right, so Cheney, by look of the draw and penalty, back in Mead territory, hunting their first touchdown of the game. It's Wilson getting north-south down inside the 40. 6 or 7 yard pickup, but he bounces back up. He's ready to go.
Yeah, and so is this Cheney offense. It's like, let's get up there. Let's get the next play called in. I'm also going to start looking for checkouts in the line of scrimmage. I also like the spot by the referee. So he appears down, but he rolls over the defender, and the referee got the proper spot.
The referees will actually give him 8 here.
And that's 2 yards for the rollover on the tackler.
4 wide out, look back to the ground to Wilson. And the Mead defensive line.
Wilson again, the ball carrier.
Stops him short again. Really impressive. That was Caden Brooks in there first.
Initially, it looked like maybe a face mask or a horse collar to bring him down, but no flags. And if that happens to a player, normally they get up, look at the ref, and grab their face mask, kind of give it a little jiggle there.
3rd down and 2, no gain on the play. This is not yet field goal territory for these teams.
But if you get positive yardage here, 4-down territory.
Up the middle, this is Schweideman. Go back to their aggressive running back, and he's able to pick up the first down, get him inside the 35. Might not end up being a high-scoring game, Mike, so every first down here is going to be crucial.
So is every point. So Cheney on this drive. Of course, any offense, you're always looking to get in the end zone. But if you get 4th and unmanageable and you're within field goal range, get points on the board. This game plays out like the first quarter and 3 minutes. We're not talking a high-scoring game here.
Mead puts 4 down. And they'll drop one back with Schweideman in motion. And that thing was all herky-jerky on the offense to begin.
Yeah, not on the same page. The O-line was not on the same cadence as a quarterback.
5 yards, down remains.
You know, minus the last minute or two, this has been a pretty clean game so far.
It has been. There's been a few miscues, but it's played clean, and the players are playing with mutual respect with each other, which I always like to see. Doesn't matter what the level is.
I think there's a chance coming into this game that the coaches said this is going to be close. We can't afford to lose yards on penalties.
Oh, yeah, the players know. They know the impact of this game. When your elite teams match up against elite teams, no margin for error. You just play football.
1st and 15. Collins. Everyone's going deep. It's a screen play over the head of Schweideman. They really were going to him pretty clearly off the screen, Mike, but they had a couple guys who were about to get open downfield as well.
Yeah, number 59 out there. He was waiting to block, and the ball hit him right between the numbers.
Doink.
Yep. He's lucky it didn't go off a shoulder pad up in the air. Had a Mead defender right there that might have had an interception.
That was about to be Marchesal, who got called for that PI a couple minutes ago. 2nd and 15. Mead brings rush from the secondary. Collins trying to stay on his feet, and down he goes. Short loss on the play. That was Garrett Miller, the Idaho State quarterback, who came flying in.
No chance whatsoever for Collins on that play.
Nope.
Mead brought it. The pocket collapsed. It was just his escapability there. You're just going to take your sack. So 2 negatives in a row.
Look at the speed on that play. Can you believe that? Mead's number 20, Garrett Miller, doesn't know his play on the D-line. They have him kind of roaming around, hunting the ball. Idaho State lucky to get him. He was entertaining some pretty exciting offers at the end of last season. Cheney will take a timeout on 3rd down and 15, right, call, Mike?
It is. They're unsettled. The last 2 plays have gone negative. They've had a penalty on this sequence as well. And in a situation, look at it, you're on your 41-yard line. Normally you're 4 down, but you've got saying 17, 18 yards to go. So situationally, if you get back to the first marker, say get to the 35-yard line, you're not in field goal range. It still puts you in a somewhat makeable 4-down situation.
Joining the Inland Empire Football's Officials Association allows you to participate in the community, have flexibility in scheduling your games, receiving timely payments, always important, and experience networking and advancement opportunities. Organized training is provided. Your chance to be on the field is a QR code away at IEFOA.com. We hope you'll decide to join us. Big 3rd and 15 for Cheney after the penalty. Down a touchdown against Mead in the second quarter. Collins trying to unwind, and he does. Stinson's behind the defense, and he got it. Oh my, Mason Stinson puts Cheney on the board.
Number 5, Mason Stinson.
What an incredible 3rd down play, and to get behind the defense.
Looks like we'll have a celebration flag. But wow, in coverage to make that catch, Mike. He had to turn around.
Unbelievable. And the line gate, everything worked for Cheney on that. That timeout paid off, didn't it, Greg?
Great play call. Have a feeling this will be a celebration penalty, don't you think?
I think so. The officials will sort it out for us. But the 6 points that are on the board, it will stand.
After the score, there's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on the scoring team.
So that'll be enforced on the kick, which is fine. I think Cheney will probably take that, but what a gutsy play call after the timeout to go deep like that, Mike.
It was, and a lot of range to Collins' arm on that one. What I also liked was the trajectory, how he dropped it in instead of more that line drive trajectory.
Here's Cade Adderley, the lefty. Puts it up and through, and now all of a sudden, Mike, after a 0-0 first quarter, a pair of really impressive touchdowns here to start the second. This is what it's all about.
Time in the pocket, trajectory, drops it in. That's just a play of beauty. And on 3rd and long. And defensively, if you're a defensive coordinator, you're going, my goodness, how did you let him get behind the defense?
Lee Colombe did about all he could there without grabbing him and getting a yellow flag on the other side of it.
Yeah, that touchdown dance, high school level, you're going to get a flag.
Cheney says this is a senior-heavy and battle-tested team. fast and physical out of the weight room. They're a spread team. They run a little bit more, but all of a sudden now if you're the Mead defense, Mike, you have to respect both. And that's the point, right?
We're talking about how do you open up the offense. It's you
passing
you
the ball
open
to
up
Stinson.
the passing
That's what
game.
we said.
Yes, don't just be focused on one receiver. Spread it around. And with that kind of luck, it plants a seed in the defender's head, and it really opens up the playbook.
So true. So Adderley back to kick away now for Cheney, and all of a sudden, we've got a game. You and I were kind of looking at each other funny after the first quarter going, is this just going to be defense all night? But this is different now.
0-0, and then Fagao, first play, second quarter, boom, in the end zone. Cheney comes back, boom, they answer.
Adderley with an absolute missile. And this will be Fagao to return. Behind his blockers, past the 50. Fagao down the sideline and chased out around the 20. What a return for him. MVP night in the first half for the Panthers.
Well, and look at his speed. We really focused on the physicality, but this guy, he's got some serious speed. And look how he protects the ball, high and tight. Well, first quarter was offense. Second quarter so far has been, or first quarter was all defense. Second quarter, it has been offense. Let's not forget special teams.
Max Fagao, the starting middle linebacker, made some plays on defense as well. What a stud. He deserves a quick break. And now we might get to see the depth, momentarily at least, Mike, at this Mead running back position. Tice Tuggle, Hayden Coons, and Dustin Johnson all also line up when Fagao needs a break. This is a pretty deep running back room.
Oh, it is. And it's running back by committee.
Offensive delay of game. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, if you add it up, so Fagao's good for 429 yards, but those three running backs you talked about, they combined, they're over 500 yards. And 8 touchdowns.
Zips it off. It is Hayden Coons. His first touch. Down inside the 15. Man, did he have a little acceleration down the sideline?
Yeah, Mead showing a lot of speed out there. And I like the play design where if you're looking to the white side of the field, you flush out of the backfield, wide open, and then just start going north-south. Great design.
Thomas on the new first down. Near side to Lee Colombe. Still on his feet. Down to the 3. Got very close to that first down. If he didn't get it, this might end up being and goal as Mead, Mike, responds very quickly to that Cheney touchdown. Wow.
Yeah, Colombe, he took a pop on that one. He's going to sit out a play, but that guy, he's gutty. He's fighting for that extra yardage.
Well, he's going for that redemption after he just got beat deep on defense for that Cheney passing touchdown.
That as well.
First and goal. It's Fagao. Down to the goal line and stopped just short. Cheney defense, nothing to shake a stick at either. It's not just Mead with the big boys.
Nope, and no yards after contact for Fagao on that one. That was a takedown. That's a wrestling mat takedown. MMA takedown.
Approaching our third potential touchdown of the first half of the second quarter. Fagao drops it, and Cheney's got it at the 4-yard line. Look at that. Chris Wilson, the two-way player, starting running back, makes a big play on defense.
Yeah, there's been some dropsy out here tonight on the exchange. That's just a tough, that's a bad snap. That's too high. That's tough to corral if you're back there trying to receive that snap.
Changes the trajectory of this because 6:19, that's a lot of time, Mike. If you're going to go 94 yards, that might take a little while.
In the red zone and it's goal to goal. You're not only in the red zone, you're inside the 10.
On the 3?
Yeah.
And these are teams that don't fumble the ball very much or throw interceptions either.
No, but I'll tell you, the center quarterback exchange and then quarterback to running back exchange.
Been problematic.
Both teams.
That's Chris Wilson goes back up the middle after recovering the fumble. This has been the Wilson and Fagao show, is what this has been tonight so far.
Definitely has been.
Both guys have made plays on both sides of the ball, starting running backs, aggressive players. Second and 7.
And they're gamers. Be at your best when the best is needed. Elite game.
Collins dumps it off near side. And it's hauled in by Stinson after he just made a big touchdown catch of 39 yards to tie this game a minute ago.
And Cheney is now passing earlier in the down and distance situation as well.
Might recognize the name Stinson. If you're a Cheney fan, his brother Evan plays boys basketball at Stanford, the great ACC powerhouse, Stanford Cardinal, of course.
Yeah, it seems odd to say Stanford, ACC in the same breath. I'm still not used to that.
The legendary ACC Stanford Cardinal.
Yes.
First and 10. Wilson tries to get north-south. Around the corner, and he does. But a ton of flags come as he's up near midfield. 3 or 4 back near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and right at the edge, right at the point of contact. So that 99% of the time implies you've got some hold. Hold by the offense.
Looked like those blocks were being dragged a little bit, don't you think?
They might have been, yeah.
Shouldn't take too long.
Holding. Offense. That penalty steep line. Holding. Offense. 10 yards. Replay.
In a light ball, even though there's 2 infractions against the same team, you have to select one. They don't stack. Oh, there's a hold right there. I see the other hold. the 1-2 hold.
Just like they drew it up.
The quarterback did a good job selling that second hole. He just put his hands up in the air, and you can see those white jersey, or the white mitts just right around that blue jersey.
Yeah, Cheney takes pride in their play action, but they have not gotten to work a ton of it tonight. Traditionally, it's been up the middle runs to Wilson and Schweideman and in dump-offs to Best, with the exception of that 40-yard touchdown pass to Mason Stinson.
Yeah, it's you're correct on that. They like to throw that misdirection and deception in there.
Second down and a mile. Second and 17.
Well, here you're looking for an 8 to 10 yard play to at least make third down somewhat manageable, especially pinned back.
Panthers only bring 5. And Wilson can't get anywhere. What a wrap-up tackle by Tice Tuggle.
And negative yardage.
And that brings up third down.
A nice initial contact to slow down the runner and an excellent pursuit.
Love the passion he came up from that tackle with, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't a dance, so that why it didn't draw a flag.
No, he was just intense. You love to see it.
Yep.
Focused young man. Third and 19 after the loss. They might have to be careful with this one.
Well,
Don't want to throw a pick this close to your own end zone.
I remember another big play on third down.
It's Stinson. And another late tackle by Tice Tuggle, saving what was nearly a surprise first down. What back-to-back big plays by him.
Yes, and Stinson's got some nice speed there as well. And escapability. Breaks the arm tackle, and look at that speed from the safety position. Came in like a bullet.
Tice Tuggle has good tackling form one-on-one, doesn't he?
He definitely does. Yeah, and the key to tackling in the open field is close the gap and show them your numbers.
3 minutes to go. Tie game late in the first half. Tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX is brought to you by Titan Truck Equipment, Northwest family owned. Outfit your truck by visiting us in Spokane Valley and follow Titan Truck on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And by Surf Pro of Spokane County. If your home or business is ever damaged by a fire, water, or an unexpected incident, trust the pros at Surf Pro of Spokane County to make it like it never even happened. Inside, 3 minutes to go in the first half, tie 7-7 ball game. Cheney will run a fake punt to the 27. That got awfully close, Mike. I think they got that by about a yard.
He got it. Yep, and they're waving the chains. What a gutsy call.
By Quentin Gaynor to do that deep in their own territory.
They saw something on film. And like I said, what a gutsy call. Direct snap, it just hit the edge. My goodness.
Mead coaching staff cannot be happy about that.
I mean, that's as good as a turnover right there.
So in case you're just joining us, this game got 7-7 awfully quick at the beginning of the second quarter. Mead was 3 yards away from punching it in on the ground. They fumbled it, and all of a sudden, here comes Cheney toward midfield, trying to take the lead after Mead so nearly had it just a minute ago.
And converts on a fourth down punt.
Oh, and now here comes Chris Wilson in a 7 or 8 yards. Mead is calling for a flag. They're not going to get it. As we run down towards 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Second down.
Well, as many times as the ball has been on the ground offensively for both sides, amazingly just one turnover. That fumble in the red zone.
A lot of drop balls, though. Pass intended for Mason Stinson, but he was blocking. He probably thought that pass was intended for Tank Best.
Well, and good thing he was the intended receiver, because if you're blocking downfield, that's pass interference.
Connor Collins, the Cheney quarterback, coming into this game a 70% passer, 7-0. So far against this Mead defense, Mike, he's 4 for 11.
I'd say that's a little below the average.
Mead's defense, absolutely no joke. But the backs have been really great tonight, not just that vaunted D-line.
Yeah, I love this matchup, and the game is just flying along. I mean, we're in 2-minute drill now with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go.
Third down and a short one for Cheney. But they've been converting in late yardage situations. Mead brings the heat and gets there first. Garrett Wilson, the Idaho State commit. He is so fast for his size.
Yeah, he flies. You can see that's next level speed on a high school field. I mean, that's just flying in off the edge.
How'd you like to be a tackle just trying to keep up with that guy?
That's tough duty.
You have to have speed and size yourself, and it's so hard. Miller's a huge guy.
He's a good-sized guy. Now, here you wonder if you're trying to go
Fourth
for
down.
a hard count, and if you like what you see, run the play. If not, call a timeout.
4th and 1.
I think they're trying hard count here.
And they will take the timeout. Mike, smart move?
Yeah, it is a smart move. Because if you're able to hard count them, you've got the first down. If you don't like the play called in the huddle, you still have the timeout in your pocket. You can regroup, call another play on 4th down, and you've still got that. I'm looking at the timeouts. That's the Blackhawks' last timeout. So it's big decision time here with a minute 21. And if you're thinking of punting, then what you're doing is you're burning the clock as well and minimizing the amount of time you're giving the Panthers. That's exactly what they were doing. They were burning clock.
4th and 1, and it looks like the Blackhawks will punt. No need to make it easier for me to score again before the end of the half, right?
Yeah, yep. So looking through situationally, that was played perfectly, is to burn that clock down.
And it's Mead's quarterback, Landon Thomas, who is back to receive this kick. Cheney will not fake it again. Great one And here is the quarterback, Thomas. It's a block from Lee Colombe, safely out to the 28 or 29-yard line. Now, Mead can pass. They just have not really successfully gone downfield very much tonight so far.
Well, and Fagao, he's been such a load tonight. He's been the workhorse tonight. Panthers, 2 timeouts left. A really good kicker. So if they're able to get the ball to the 30, say the 30-yard line, you're in field goal range. In practice, Greg, in fact, I think you got the scouting report. He's good for about 50 yards in practice. So
yep.
I think the key yardage marker is the 30-yard line. You're in field goal range.
Mead's quarterback, Landon Thomas, 3 for 6 so far in the first half. Both defenses have been very impressive on the pass game. First down with time. Went for Colombe, and it's intercepted. Overshot him by a mile. What a great pick by Cheney. That's Christopher Wilson. Recovered a fumble and then an interception. What a game for him.
Yes, he is, and that is so overthrown. All Wilson has to do is, that was right in the numbers. You would think he was the intended receiver.
By the way, not a good time for it. That is Landon Thomas, Mead's quarterback. That's his first interception of the season thrown.
And just when you think Panthers might take advantage and go down and get 3 on the board or maybe a touchdown, right back at you, Blackhawks.
An absolute gift for Cheney here in terms of field position with the amount of time left. They can get in field goal range. They also went over the top for a 40-yard touchdown not long ago. They'll give it to Wilson, though, and stay on the ground. Gain of 3 or 4 yards. That'll take us down inside a minute in the half.
And your Blackhawks, you've got to be up-tempo here. They aren't quite showing the sense of urgency that I would expect as we're under 50 seconds now.
No timeouts left for Cheney. They can't run that play again. Second and long. Collins down the seam for Stinson. He did it again! Touchdown, Blackhawks!
Pass is complete to Mason Stinson for a Blackhawks touchdown.
Second touchdown connection between those two.
One beautiful touchdown deserves another. My goodness. Perfect drop in. And Stinson's got some separation ability down the field. We called Best's name a lot in the first quarter. Now we're calling Stinson's name a lot. Or in the first quarter, Stinson's name in the second quarter.
Isn't it impressive how much their playbook opened up when they finally were able to go to both wide receivers?
It was. It's just what we talked about. No score in the first quarter. Big time adjustment by the coaching staff.
And here's Cade Adderley to make it 14. Absolute bullet, and he does. A pair of 40-yard passing touchdowns from Connor Collins to Mason Stinson. Those two know what they're doing together.
Yeah, essentially the equivalent of a 3-step drop. Stinson had the receiver beat, a drop in. Stinson high-pointed it. They made that look easy.
How about that turn of events? Mead was all excited to get one last shot at the end zone, and all of a sudden, they have some halftime adjustments to make. This Cheney team was down for a couple of years, and look at them, nearly up at the half against a really solid Mead Panthers team. Now, if you're Mead, Mike Peterson, you just want to take care of this ball, or do you want to try to go deep after you just threw a pick?
Situational. It depends on the kickoff. If you get another big special teams play like Fagao, of course, you're going for it. But if you're pinned back your 20, 25-yard line, you might take a couple shots if you get chunk yardage.
Man, does that thing just fly off his foot. And it's Tice Tuggle. Made a couple great plays on defense. Lost the ball. Cheney again at the 44. Wheels coming off for the Panthers late in the second quarter.
And that looked like a punch-out. That looked like a college-level punch-out. I can't wait to see on the replay. And you don't see the true punch-out very often at the high school level. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that ball was punched out from behind.
That was number 20, Levi Wills, with an absolutely stellar play. Now Mead just doing everything they can to get to the locker room. Because Cheney, one good play, you get out of bounds. This is field goal range.
I would contend, with the low trajectory, we're probably the 20-yard line, maybe the 25-yard line, if you're Cheney, to get in field goal range.
Not a surprise. Here comes a timeout from Coach Kyle Snell in Mead. He just wants to get this thing back on track for the last home stretch of the half.
Well, and I think what you have to do, Cologne has now been beat twice over the top. So this is where you talk defensively. If you're running cover 2, you've got to get that safety over the top and give help up top. And that help has not been there on those 2 big touchdown throws.
Both teams have a pair of quarterbacks who take care of the ball, an excellent physical running back, and wide receivers you can trust. They've also both only played 1 or 2 games this year that have been really competitive the whole way through.
That is true. What's surprising, the number of turnovers by Mead to end the second half.
Yeah.
Or first half, I should say, second quarter.
Fumbles, interceptions, and now a punch out on a return. 3 in the last, 6 or 7 minutes?
Yeah, 3 in maybe the last 5 or 6 touches.
Great field position for the Blackhawks. They're looking deep again. And they'll dump it off this time. Dustin Johnson with a hit of the night so far for him as they found Chris Wilson again.
Yeah, they're going to have to clock it here. Mistake not going out of bounds. You need to stop the clock more than you need those extra yards.
Got that play off really quickly. Clock is stopped at 9.2.
Cooper Danes, WSU bound Cooper Danes, he's savvy because he tried jumping that snap knowing the ball was going to get clocked.
Pretty impressive that Cheney has managed to keep the ball away from him. We have not heard his name on defense a lot in the first half.
No, we have not. He's been pretty quiet in that regard.
3rd and a short 2 here for Cheney. Time for 1 good play and you can get out of bounds and a field goal. Collins rolling. Mead there to meet him. Middle of the field, went for Tank Best. Couldn't quite get him as the pocket collapsed. And this is not really field goal range. You might as well try, Mike, for your 3rd 40-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, and who was in the grill at Connor Collins? That was Danes.
4th down.
Danes can make a quarterback's life miserable. And I think that's why the ball was underthrown, is because Danes was right in Collins' grill and couldn't quite get the full throw and oomph into the pass because the receiver was open.
Smart young man. I'm told he, on his own volition, read Moby Dick over the summer. How often do you hear about a high school kid doing that nowadays, Mike?
Studious.
Must have a good English teacher over there at Mead.
Well, this is trick play or Hail Mary. Delay a game because you're out of timeouts.
Might as well.
And by the way, that English teacher over at Mead,
I'm told he's a good one.
that's what I'm told as well. He gets high reviews.
And they will run the penalty. We'll see exactly what they do here with the 4.2 because they can't get the free first down. Mead knew that one was coming.
And that English teacher at Mead does some work at Gonzaga University as well. So multi-talented English teacher over there at Mead High School.
4th down and 7 for Cheney. Collins will run. Clock hit 0, though. He won't be able to get out of bounds. That'll take us down to halftime. Wheels came off for Mead in the final 5 or 6 minutes of the first half. Cheney, Mike, takes full advantage.
Great end of the half for Cheney, and keep in mind, Cheney is going to get the ball to open the second half, so they could rattle off another couple touchdowns here.
Marching band coming out here at Union Stadium in Mead. Halftime show coming up after this. Blackhawks up a touchdown. Halftime at Union Stadium on SWX. It's brought to you by Spokane Colleges and Education designed with life in mind. Cheney 14, Mead 7 here at the break. Mike Peterson, that is not something that we thought coming into this game.
No score in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden the tide turned in the second half. And what happened? Fagau, first play of the second half, he had that 29-yard run. And then Collins with the two big plays by opening up the passing game, and it would tail at 2 quarters in the first half.
Pair of 5-1 teams coming into this one. Cheney and Mead have been circling each other for a couple of weeks. Mead gets on the board with Max Fagau on the first play of the second quarter, and we're like, oh, here come the Panthers all of a sudden.
Yep, and then what does Cheney do on 3rd and long? A bomb over the top to Stinson, and that tied the game.
39 yards out. Stinson averages like 16 and a half yards a catch. He's great over the top, so Connor Collins goes, let's go back to the well. Same play, same result. Again, Cologne beaten at corner, and Stinson gets in the end zone twice with 34 to go in the half.
Yep, and keep in mind, Cheney gets the ball to open the second half, so scoring to end the first half. If you come out, score a touchdown in the second half, there's your 14-0. Coaches love when that happens.
2 unanswered touchdowns through the air for Cheney. All of a sudden, Mead has a big second half cut out for them. We'll take a quick break on SWX and come back with more. Halftime at Mead, Cheney up 14-7 on the Panthers, and it's time to take another look at tonight's keys to the game. At halftime, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. Mike, have these teams done what you wanted? Let's take a look.
Well, adjustments on the fly. Let's start with Cheney at the top there, that Blackhawk logo. I see 2 major adjustments they made on the fly, and that is in the second quarter they opened up the passing game and weren't just going to single receiver. Look what happened with Stinson. It was a lot of best in the first quarter, Stinson in the second quarter, and the other adjustment was special teams adjustment. Deep in your territory, gutsy move. They saw something defensively shown to them by the Mead receiving team, and they busted that corner, got a first down, and that set up that touchdown. Now, if you look at Mead, defense setting the tone, what they have to clean up, they have to clean up that pass over the top to Stinson. And so what you do, you make that adjustment, is you creep the safety over the top so you don't leave that cornerback isolated one-on-one. Stinson's shown he's going to win that battle.
Cheney 14, Mead 7. I think we're not done with great defense and great offense yet. Speaking of offense, let's show you this quarterback comparison. Landon Thomas for Mead in the first half, kind of a tough one. 1 interception on 3 for 6 passing. Connor Collins, not his usual completion rate. He's 6 for 14. Coming into this game, he was a 70% passer. But, Mike, he hit when it mattered most. 2 deep touchdowns, 40 yards apiece.
Yes. And so what Landon Thomas has to do, he's got to flush that interception. That was just simply a poor pass, and it led to a counter touchdown. So you flush that if you're the quarterback. If you're Connor Collins, you're looking for that play over the top. If that safety isn't there for coverage, you're thinking Stinson on the long ball, and you always come back to best underneath.
Landon Thomas has to have that goldfish brain in the second half. We'll see if he does. Second half just minutes away. 14-7 Cheney on Mead. High school football on SWX is presented in part by P1FCU. Are you looking for a free checking account? P1FCU's Ascend Checking is free checking that can earn you dividends. Open your account at p1fcu.org. Halftime here at Union Stadium, Cheney 14, Mead 7, a pair of 5-1 teams. Mike, what do both teams need to work on at halftime here?
Well, I'd say with Cheney, they're taking all the momentum into halftime. I think because the Mead passing game has been ineffective, find a way to slow down Fagau and force him to pass. And then for Cheney, That's on the Cheney side. On the Mead side, you've got to clean up the turnovers.
Halftime on SWX was brought to you tonight by Spokane Colleges, an education designed with life in mind. One more break, then we're back with what should be an electrifying second half between a pair of these 5-1 teams, Mead and Cheney. We're back in a second. High school football on SWX is presented in part by our local McDonald's restaurants, proud sponsors of the McDonald's Team of the Week, featured every Friday night at 11:15 on nonstop local KHQ in SWX overtime, starting in mid-September. Cheney 14, Mead 7 at halftime. All 3 touchdowns came in the second quarter. Mike, the game changed immediately after those first 12 minutes. Why?
Well, mostly it changed for Cheney. So if you're looking at Fagau, there was great field position open up the second quarter, and he busted off that 29-yard run. Virtually untouched, one-arm tackle. But after that, it really was all Cheney. And Cheney just spreading the ball offensively. It totally changed the tone. And it's almost like it rattled Mead, because in the second half of the second quarter, last 6 minutes, I want to say, I don't have the official count, but within 5 or 6 touches, you have a bad snap when you're about to score a touchdown. On a kickoff return, you get the ball punched out.
And an interception.
And then an interception in there. And the wheels just fell off on the pass, on special teams. They got to get that fixed. So big plays Cheney, turnovers Mead.
The question for Cheney: do they keep going back to the well for Mason Stinson? Do they try to reestablish the ground game? It's going to be a really interesting start to the second half. Feels like Mead has a little bit more to lose in this game. I know both teams are 5-1 when you look at the standings, but traditionally Mead has been a much better program than Cheney.
Yes, they have been, but Cheney has really flipped things around out there. Second year of Graham at the 2 Grahams at the head coach and the coordinator Graham, and the weight room. I mean, Cheney's not been this physical in the last few years, and the preparation, the commitment to the weight room, bigger, faster, stronger, it's paying off for Cheney.
They've gotten the full buy-in with the new weight room from the school. I've been told they have between 40 and 50 kids, just upperclassmen, taking an athletic conditioning class. Those kids have bought in. They have been in the weight room, and the transformation has been really palpable.
Yeah, and you touched on it earlier, Greg. You look at these freshmen that are coming into the program. You have summer strength training, but these freshmen, you commit as a freshman. By the time you're a junior or senior, I mean, you go from a lad to a young man.
Donovan Damiano to kick off for Mead. He has not gotten to do very much tonight, Mike.
Not at all. It's been quiet.
One of the big legs in the Greater Spokane League. Colleges are looking at him.
And that's another thing. He kicked it out of bounds in the second half. Gave Cheney great field position.
Great leg. Bounce. Chris Wilson has to play it. Oh, what a kick for Damiano. Wilson spun down by a group at the 20-yard line. That's more than they probably thought they would get once they saw that bounce.
Yeah, and Wilson, I understand what he's thinking, because he's thinking the ball's going to hit like 1-2 yard line, going to bounce in the end zone. But it had that backspin on it, so Wilson had no choice but to pick it up. He was lucky to get out to the 20.
Really fortunate. Now, what kind of adjustments do we see from Mead on defense? Top 3 defense in the GSL, in addition to being the number 1 scoring offense. There's Cooper Danes on your screen, the Washington State commit. Connor Collins throws to Stinson. Those two hooked up for a pair of 40-yard touchdowns in the first half. No surprise they start going to him.
Yeah, if you talk Mead's defensive adjustment, you have to have the safety involved, especially on Stinson. The safeties are lining up only 10 yards deep, and they have to respect the Cheney run game. But if you cheat back even 2 yards and you're back 12 yards and then cheat a little bit to the sideline, you turn single coverage into double coverage.
Mead safeties are really good. The great Tice Tuggle with a couple great catches, and Landon Thomas, their quarterback, plays safety as well. Second down and 3. Over the top to Stinson again. You got to be kidding me. Stinson dragged down at the 5. Touchdown saving tackle.
And just like we talked about, now Stinson, we'll see how he gets up, because some of those tackles, lower leg, that can really hurt an ankle. You get a high ankle strain or a pull or something like that. Big loss for Cheney. But here we go, the safety. Only 10 yards deep. Colomb again beat over the top. And then let's watch the ankle on this tackle here.
And, Mike, how about this play-action cell? That's college level.
Yeah, and it froze the safety. So the safety wasn't able to get in that play. So that defense for Mead looked more, let's check the ankle out. It was a clean tackle.
Clean tackle by Tuggle, for sure. And all of a sudden, Cheney on the verge of going up 21-7 on Mead with 3 consecutive offensive unanswered touchdowns.
And Stinson initially looked like he's fine, but you get an ankle tweaked, and those sprains are incredibly painful.
Mason Stinson, the Blackhawks, shaking up on the play. Cheney will take over. First and goal to 6.
First and goal from the 6 now for Cheney.
Well, it's good to see Stinson walking off without much of a limp.
And for those of you like us here, mathematically challenged, that was a just shy of a 70-yard pass.
Yeah, so start on the 20-yard line, the 5-yard pass to Stinson, and then from the 25-yard line over the top to Stinson. So Collins to Stinson.
Really nice connection. Really nice.
Is 75 yards, roughly 75 yards worth of yardage in 2 plays.
Collins will roll and throw high. Smart to throw high so it wasn't picked.
I think that was intentionally thrown away.
Nothing doing there. Big stop by Mead. They'll need a couple more.
He threw a field goal. He maybe like 3 points on that.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Hit right on the top of the crossbar. You see that ricochet? And then up
Give
into
him a
the
point
net.
for that one. Right?
Yeah. Style point.
Back to the 6-yard line goes Cheney. They have a pair of great running backs. That's Schweideman in the backfield. No, it's Wilson. Receiver toss. Back to Collins. Ball's loose. Mike, that's not a lot of field position to go with a trick play.
No, especially near side of the field
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And the ball just didn't come out quick enough either. And you've got to get wider as a quarterback. So a little trickery, but the execution wasn't quite there. The design was good, just the execution and the spacing, they can clean that up a little bit. They'll clean that up in the film room.
They seem really insistent on passing here. 3rd and goal again from the 6. They've passed the first 2 plays. 3rd now. Collins throwing PI. Well, maybe not. We saw 2 bodies go down, but I don't see a flag.
There might have just been a collision in the backfield. I was checking out the quarterback's reads, and I didn't get a full look at what happened in the end zone. Maybe replay can pick it up.
We saw 2 bodies go down while that pass was thrown. I'll be interested to see what happened here. Because now all of a sudden, Cheney will have to settle for a field goal. Let's watch again. It's in the middle of the end zone here. You'll see 2 bodies go down. It was just a collision, clean play.
They were both looking back at the ball, and there's your collision. Those hurt when you don't see them coming.
All right, Cade Adderley. Mead will be bringing the house, trying to keep this a 1-touchdown game, and a flag in late. They didn't get it off in time.
Which isn't the end of the world, because when you're on the right hash mark and that close to the goal line, you actually have a better angle going back 5 yards.
100%.
So if you're Mead, you might be thinking, decline it and keep the tougher angle. You'll see that decline oftentimes.
A lot of rushers to look out for here if you're the Cheney O-line on special teams. Garrett Miller with his size and speed will be coming hard for this ball.
And immediately off the foot, you've got to get elevation.
Here's Adderley. Nicely blocked. It's up and it's through. 17-7. Cheney up 10. All unanswered points.
And that's a big score opening drive for, you got the big plays, you finish with points, you've got a 2-possession game now. You had the touchdown to end the first half. You've got 3 points to start the second half. That's 10-0 right there.
breakout night in terms of showing off his arm and his accuracy from Connor Collins. Look at him. He took over end of last season as just a sophomore for this Cheney team as they struggled. He's become a standout quickly, and if I had to guess, this is a guy who's going to be sending out some tape based on a couple of these throws.
He's got plenty of arm, and I like the types of throws, the zip it in, changing your arm slot and trajectory based on the situation.
Adderley to kick down. Man, he's got just as much of a leg as Donovan Damiano. A couple of great kickers tonight.
62 yards roughly on the opening kickoff. And that was what, 65, 66 yards in the air?
That was a lot. All airborne as well. Okay, so all of a sudden, this game now hangs in the balance at the beginning of the third quarter, no less, for a very talented Mead team. 5-1. Their only loss this year came in a nail-biter at the very end of the game to rival Mount Spokane. Back-to-back great seasons for this team, but man, their offense in the first half was lacking.
Yes, it definitely was. The offense for me really was Fagao.
And they'll go to him, and he's wrapped up. Great tackle out of the gate.
And that was one of the adjustments I talked about coming out of the second half when, Greg, you were asking me, what does Cheney have to do defensively, or what adjustment? Take Fagao out of the running game, force Mead to pass.
Great tackle by Wyatt Wells, the D lineman, getting a arm around the tough-to-tackle Max Fagao. Again, in case you're just joining us, Fagao had 120 yards just after contact last week against Ridgeline. No trouble getting ahead of steam there, gain of about 9 yards.
And if you're Mead, you've got to move the chains. If you get a negative yardage or even 4th and 1, it's decision time. You can't afford a 3-and-out because Mead lost all their momentum at the end of the first half. You got to get it back opening the second half.
3 Mead turnovers in the span of a couple of minutes. 3rd and 1. Dustin Johnson, the bruiser at H-back, looking to provide some lead blocking for Fagao.
Watch 49, that's probably where Fagao's going to go.
That's Johnson as his lead blocker, and Fagao's got it. Everyone knew what was going to happen there, and they still couldn't stop it.
Yeah. When you see 49 come in short yardage, that's right up there with the push-tush, the tush-push.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson's got some great hair. When you see that hair there in the middle of your screen as the lead blocker, follow the leader.
There's a lot of beef leading the way there.
Same thing. They'll go back to the well. Gain of 5 or 6.
I mean, when you've got that in your arsenal as a lead blocker, you can darn near just run that play. Run it left, run it right, run it up the middle, and I mean, that might be your go-to offense.
First quarter of this game flew by, 25 minutes or less. A lot of scoring in the second quarter, slowed down. Third quarter so far is moving quickly as well. Mead now playing against the clock. Down a couple of possessions. 2nd and 3. Fagao again. Big first down. And into Cheney territory.
Adjustment made because Mead got virtually nothing out of their passing game, a lot out of Fagao. So all of a sudden you bring Johnson in. Is that lead blocker? My goodness, chunk yardage.
Landon Thomas, the Mead quarterback, still just 3 for 6 based on the first half. The passing game was tough to get going. The running game was a lot better for them.
Hayden Coons, 28 now in at tailback.
And they'll give to him. Good last-second stop as he went by.
Yeah,
that was Quentin Gaynor.
Yeah, from the corner position. Outside linebacker, corner position.
There's Kyle Snell, Mead's first-year head coach, came over from Lewis and Clark. Kids love him. School loves him. He would love to get back in this game.
And establishing the running game like this might look for play action.
2nd and 6. Thomas outside, and he's got Coons. Second time he's made a great reception out of the backfield, and it's another first down.
Yeah, the classic, you start getting chunks with the run, it tightens the defense up, the line of scrimmage, you get the play action like that, and it really opens up the playbook. and softens the defense.
Mead's got a great offensive line and a great assortment of receivers, but they really just have been focused for the most part on those running backs tonight, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Down to Cheney's 35. Thomas will keep. Looked like a borderline option play. Short gain as he took it himself.
Mead tonight, clearly the run is what's going to set up the pass. And this is a team averaging almost 400 yards of total offense on the season.
Slower going tonight. Cheney, the number one defense in the Greater Spokane League. Thomas, near side, off the hands of the great Garrett Miller, who they put in at tight end. The Idaho State commit looking to find him just off the hands.
Yeah, they passed so little, only 8 attempts, official attempts. They've tried a couple other times and end up not throwing, but with 8 attempts, you're offensively from a passing game, they're just not in rhythm right now.
Coming up on halfway through the third quarter. Passing situation here again on third down at about 9. What will they do? Cheney brings some pressure. It's Fagau on the ground following Johnson. Loose ball. Cheney says they have it. What's the result? Oh, they do. The Blackhawks. Wow. It's Bryce DeLang coming and making that play. Double team tackle came out loose.
That's a strip, number 16. I tell you, that's that next level coaching on defense.
Jackson Randall did it. We've seen a punch out, a couple of fumbles, and now a strip out from Cheney's defense. Wow.
And that's by design. That's not a fluke. Absolutely coached and by design. We've seen a punch and we've seen a strip.
Cheney riding high, all the momentum. 17 unanswered points on offense. Wilson on the sweep. 6 or 7 yards as he's pushed out of bounds. Mike, this Mead offense has not scored since the first play of the second quarter.
Well, and if you look at it, this is all turnovers. If you go back to the last part of the first half and this opening drive for Mead, 4 consecutive drive busters, all on turnovers. 3 of them fumbles.
Well, we know what they'll be focusing on in practice next week, huh?
Oh, yes. Indeed.
Second down and 4 after the gain of 6. A lot of backs out here on defense for Mead. But it doesn't matter. What a wrap-up tackle by Dustin Johnson on defense. He looks like he's a little twisted as he went back down to the turf. Hopefully he's okay. And here he is down there.
Oh, huge loss. Huge loss if he's not able to play.
Well, he clears all those holes for the running back side, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
We'll take a break on the field. Cheney, 17-7. Mead trying to stay in this thing as they try to keep the wheels from falling off. Tonight's presentation of high school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Inner Demon Motorsports. Located in Hayden, Idaho, Inner Demon Sports, powered by Heatercraft, will keep you warm in your UTV or boat all year round. Halfway through the third quarter here at Union Stadium in Mead, 17-7 Cheney on top of the Mead Panthers. 17 unanswered points by the Cheney offense as they are back after a stripped out late run by Mead here. 3rd down and 3 for Cheney. They'd love to keep this drive going. Collins bullet pass, hauled in and caught by Stinson, but dropped short of the line. Rather, that was Tank Best who hauled it in. First time we've heard from Tank Best in a while, Michael.
Yeah, first quarter he was active, and I think this is his first catch since the first quarter.
It is. But Mead was ready for it.
Situational football, 2-possession game.
I mean, for the most part, Mead's defense has been really impressive, minus 3 over-the-top passes to Stinson.
That's what it's come down to, the big play. And 4 consecutive drives by Mead, thwarted by turnovers.
So often the case in high school football that's the way. 4th down and 2, and it looks like Cheney will punt, although they successfully fake punted and picked up a first down in the first half. They will get this one away. The quarterback, Landon Thomas, to receive, and he's wrapped up immediately. Excellent special teams by Cheney.
And if you're
that was Honda Nubu.
And Greg, if you're thinking situationally, it's a 2-possession game now if you're Cheney. So it's touchdown field goal. So 2 possessions. A lot of clock has been burned here in the third quarter. Why give Mead, I shouldn't say a gimme, but give him great field position if you go for it on 4th down. You're on the 40-yard line. Punt and play situational football.
Big chance now for this Mead Panthers team, the number 1 scoring offense in the Greater Spokane League, to get back in this game. Thomas out of the gun, up the middle of Fagau. He has been their engine. Gain of 5 or 6 yards. The question, Mike, can Mead pull off this comeback if they can't get their passing game going?
And as we have a player down for Cheney.
Yet again, this has been a couple here in the third quarter. That's Wyatt Wells, who made a great play earlier.
Yeah, he's grabbing, looks like he's grabbing his, leg area.
But, Mike, what does Mead need to do to get the passing game going? Because if they can't, this is going to be a slow grind at the finish.
Well, it's predicated on the running game. So adjustment they made is they brought in Dustin Johnston, lead blocker for Fagau. And they did the play action to the flat on that last drive. That worked. They didn't quite execute, and that might have been a cramp. And they've just got to get better execution out of the passing game.
Thankfully, he's off without a lot of help.
Yeah, and if Mead is not capable of getting the passing game going, it's a big uphill climb against Cheney here. And it goes without saying, they can't afford to turn the ball over again. All those 17 points on the board for the Blackhawks, all off turnovers.
A lot on the shoulders now with this high-powered Mead offense. What a year they've had on offense. 42 points against U High, 42 against Lewis and Clark, 47 against Central Valley, 38 against Ferris, 45 against Ridgeline, 7 tonight against the Blackhawks. Flag comes in from the near side judge. This will be on Cheney.
On the defense, 5 yards.
Yeah, when it's dead ball like that, it's if you get a lineman in the high school level lined up in the neutral zone, automatically a flag comes out. Encroachment.
Thomas coming into this game, 58% passer, no INTs. Threw a pick earlier, though. Back to the ground, Fagau, 4 or 5 yards. Chipping away is good, but eventually you'll have to take a shot.
You're going to have to take a shot, and with now 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, I'm not going to say time is a factor, but if all you're doing is running and you're playing catch-up, time can be a factor if you're going against a bend, don't break defense like Cheney is showing tonight.
2nd and 6. And Fagao slipped and down went his knee, and that's the play.
And you wonder, as the temperature drops, if we're going to, the dew factor.
It's colder out here, no doubt.
Yeah, so is there going to be that moisture on the ground that is going to make cutting a little much more challenging?
And Mead, for what it's worth, on this last play, just brought in Evan Drew to play quarterback. This is not Landon Thomas. Underclassman. And he's going to throw. And he's going to throw deep to Lee Colombe, and it's nearly intercepted. Off the hands of Honda Nobu. That also was nearly a touchdown to Lee Colombe.
Oh, if that ball wasn't underthrown, Colombe could have had his redemption. You're right. But 3rd and 9, and on that slip from Fagao, creating 3rd and 9, you have to punt. And Cheney should get really good field position.
Mead also now has number 19, a sophomore quarterback, Brody LaBelle, warming up on the sideline. So you have to wonder if something has happened here to Landon Thomas. Here's the punt in the air. That'll roll. And that just bounced off of Ryan Tallarico, one of the numerous Tallaricos to come through this Mead football family. Under 3 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Mead just can't capitalize on a gift, Mike.
No, that one run by Fagao to open the 2nd quarter, and that's the only real big play that the Panthers have had all game. So you got to go kudos to the Cheney Blackhawks and that defensive unit. It's been bend, don't break, and then great turnovers. Some of Mead Panthers making, some of the Blackhawks making, with a strip and a punch out. So 2 of those 4 turnovers were from coaching.
Collins on 1st down. Wow, what a great play coming up there by Kyle Kilman. Now on that last play, Mike, Cooper Smith was back at safety in the 2nd spot for Mead. That spot is normally taken by their quarterback, Landon Thomas, who just got taken out. So something's up with Landon Thomas.
Yeah, adjustments being made.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have taken him out on defense. I think he must have gotten banged up on a play.
And I'm trying to spot him on the sideline to see if he is indeed banged up.
Up the middle they go. Gain of 1 or 2 on the play. That was a loose one to Schweideman. And Mead is going to have a heck of a time if something happened to their QB.
Thomas has been stellar all year. Subpar performance tonight. But he's been a heck of a quarterback. When you got a quarterback leading you to almost 400 yards total offense in a game, that's production.
3rd and 9, pressure, hauled in. Something out of nothing. Nicely done by the tight end, Ashton Hughes, his first catch.
And extracurriculars on the far sideline right in front of the Cheney bench. Looked like number 68 for Mead, and I did not catch the number for Cheney.
That'd be Bo Finley for the Panthers if that is indeed who it's on. We'll see.
I think that was 59, Bryce DeLonge for the Blackhawks.
He's had a good game. This is taking a second with our officials. 2 minutes to go in the quarter.
There's a flag on the play.
I can tell you the blue shirt was on top. That would typically indicate that would go against the shirt that was on top, unless there's a retaliation. But we shall see. As I say, Greg, it's for the refs to sort out, not me.
Indeed. And here we go.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Both dead ball. Personal foul. Defense. Personal foul. Offense. Those penalties offset. The down is.
And we go to fourth down.
Fourth down on what looks like a long 4 or a very short 5 here. And all of a sudden, the defense is really reasserting themselves. That was the great Cooper Danes.
Yep, and the positive there for Cheney is the clock's moving. With 16 seconds on the play clock.
Look at this.
If I'm special teams, I'm going down to 1 or 2 seconds before I snap.
Landon Thomas now back to receive and back in the game for Mead to return this punt. He won't get a chance, but huge for the Panthers that he is healthy, apparently.
Yes, it is. And nice roll on the punt.
This punt is down at the 11-yard line. And the Panthers will take over, 1st and 10.
Now, you see Landon Thomas, there he is. However, it appears that Evan Drew is also in that huddle. So what are they going to do? Ryan Tallarico is also out there. What is the plan for this team? It's going to be Evan Drew. All right, 1:30 to go in the third quarter, an uphill climb. But, Mike, we did see Evan Drew has an arm on him on that last pass.
Yes, he does. And that's tough coming in cold. You come in cold as a quarterback, you don't have a ton of experience. That's a tall order to step in there and try to crank one.
Gain of about 5.
Nice tight spiral.
Max Fagau, it seems, will get you 5 on every run. The question is, once we hit the end of the third quarter, do you have time for that to be your plan?
That's a question that's going to have to play out here pretty quickly.
2nd and 3 for Drew. They're keying on Fagau. Out of bounds to stop the clock. Didn't quite get there. Maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, and even more importantly, the
Take
official
it back.
ruled he was down inbounds, so that clock's ticking.
So here's Landon Thomas now on crutches. That was Tallarico who received. His jersey was bunched up. It looked like 6. This is 6. This is Landon Thomas, the quarterback and safety on crutches. And nothing has gone right tonight for Mead after the end of the second quarter. This has been tough.
Yeah, and I didn't see what happened. But there's your explanation right now why he's not in.
3rd down and 2. They'll go to the Wildcat. Lunges forward. And he picks up the 1st down. They'll get one more playoff here with the clock stoppage on the 1st down, and that will eventually take us down to the end of the third quarter. And this is going to be quite the hill to climb for the Mead Panthers, trying to keep it a 1-loss season.
And there's some clock management needs to go on. If I'm Mead, if I like the play that's called, I'm going to get another playoff here in the third quarter before the clock runs out.
Here they go. Last of the quarter likely. Fagau met. They're going to key on him. And this is going to be Fagau and Hayden Coons who took that carry against the world as we go to the fourth quarter. 17 unanswered points by the surging 5-1 Cheney Blackhawks as we go to the fourth. Can Mead catch up? We'll find out after this. High school football tonight on SWX is sponsored in part by Pella Windows, your local windows and doors experts to help make life brighter. And Dr. C Family Dentistry, complete care for every smile at every stage. Start of the fourth quarter here at Union Stadium in Mead. 17-7 is our score. Cheney on top of Mead. Take a look at the GSL standings. Both of these teams, Mike Peterson, came in here at 5-1. Playoff implications for both of these teams.
Yeah, Gonzaga Prep 6-0. They're 4A. Mead is 4A. If Mead loses tonight, that's 2 games behind Prep. They would need a lot of help to get that first seed.
At the end of the third quarter, Mead starting quarterback Landon Thomas was spotted on crutches. It's Evan Drew in at quarterback now as they go back to the ground. Not a lot happens. That'll bring up third and about 7 yards now. They're down 10 points, Mike, without their starting quarterback Landon Thomas. How can they pull this off?
They have to get chunk yardage now. And Cheney is going to just stack that line of scrimmage. You still have to respect the pass, but you can really focus on the run now if you're Cheney. And here we go, 3rd and 8.
You can just key on Fagau and Coons and hope that's it. 3rd down and 8. Fagau in the backfield. Drew will run and pick up a big first down. He's got some wheels, huh?
Yeah, he busted that corner, gave it a tuck, and off he went. There's a nice little chip block in the interior that busted into the outside.
Very gutsy from the backup.
Yeah, and it looked like Cheney was caught in man-to-man defense. So if you're a quarterback, you're looking at the back of those white shirts and a lot of green in front of you.
Mead moving quickly now. They say that the D-line jumped from Cheney. Referees disagree. 10 to get the play off. Drew, play action. Looking downfield for Lee Colombe. He'll keep and pick up 5 and get out of bounds. For a backup, he looks very comfortable. He's good out there.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's taking first snaps of the year.
Really impressive. Escapable with speed. Coach Kyle Snell has to be happy with his odds based on these first couple of plays.
Yeah, because Landon Thomas, he's got the lion's share of the snaps this year, so you're coming in somewhat cold. He's decisive.
Second down, near side. Lee Colombe didn't get out of bounds, though. Right up against the sticks. And it looks like they'll give him the first down by inches.
Yep, first down. He was in bounds. The receiver was in bounds. So as soon as things are set, the clock's going to continue to run. We'll keep an eye on that clock as fourth quarter progresses.
Mead sends Dustin Johnson back out there, potentially the block for Max Fagau. A little more than 10 minutes to go. Mead not just playing Cheney, now playing the clock. From midfield. 1st and 10. Fagau. Tackle from behind by Tank Best, but a flag comes in from the backfield.
Yep, late flag right at the point of attack. Typically implies offensive holding.
During the run, holding, offense.
And that one hurts if you're Mead after you just picked up all that yardage.
Yeah, and it's spot of the foul, so it's not end of the run. So essentially, instead of second manageable, you're 1st and 20. There's your hold right there. Wrestling move out there on the edge. Wrap your hand around the helmet, your arm.
That was Chase Sander who got by the referees. 1st and 20 now for Mead. What can they do? Fagau and Evan Drew. Looking for Fagau instead. Goes over the middle for Garrett Miller. The Idaho State commit says, "Get off me, child's play." To the 41, a gain of 19.
Great job by the quarterback going through progressions. My goodness.
A gain of 14 on the play.
Evan Drew I think they've got a chance with this kid, Mike. What a great performance off the bench.
They do. He's keeping his cool. He went through his progressions. He's shown he can run the ball.
Now all of a sudden, this feels different for the Panthers. 9:30 to go, still down 10 points. Cheney pinches. Too late. Fagau's up to the 25. And, Mike, this feels like for the first time since the beginning of the second quarter, Mead has some life.
With Drew coming in, it's a different look, and he's got a different skill set. In the film room, if you're Cheney, you're not prepping to face Evan Drew. My goodness. He's the spark right now. Now you just can't turn the ball over if you're Mead.
Mead, 4 turnovers in this one. Cheney, all of their points have come off of Mead turnovers. Can they hold on to the ball? Evan Drew with an arm to Colomb inside the 15 for another first down.
And moving the chains like this, I mean, he's moving the 1 and 2 downs. 1st and 20, and you get a 19-yard chunk. And this passing game's opening up.
Evan Drew, since uncorking that arm, Mike, 3 for 3.
Yes, he has. He's finding his rhythm. And it has opened up the playbook. Cheney's on their heels.
Got to get down to the 3 for the next first down. They'll let him throw again. Drew out of the backfield to Dustin Johnson with a head of steam. Down to the 3. If he didn't get it, he's awfully close.
Everything is working now for Mead.
Evan Drew, 4 for 4. And it looks like the playbook has opened up a little bit, too.
The entire playbook has. Momentum, playbook's opened up. Passing game is clearly opened up.
Gain of 9, 1 to go. Fagau in the backfield with Evan Drew. Cheney brings the house. Fagau, touchdown, his second. And Mead's back in it late in this game.
Touchdown, Panthers. Max Fagau from 3 yards out.
Well, that sure woke up the crowd, Greg.
Student section back to life. What a great turnaround for this Panther team. Donovan Damiano with a leg. Knew it would be good. 3-point game, 8 minutes to go. And Mike, you would think that would spark the Mead defense now as well and give them the energy when they need it.
Yeah, and this is where football clearly is a momentum game. I mean, that is just, that passing game opened up an easy walk-in for Fagau right there. And so it's going to be, if you're Cheney, you've got to answer. If not, the momentum is sitting in Mead's favor right now.
Evan Drew off the bench, an absolute miracle worker. 4 for 4 on that drive as the backup. He was running, he was throwing, he was protecting the ball, Mike.
He was doing it all. And the key that he's done, he initially opened up the offense with his legs, and that seemed to get him the rhythm to open up the game with this passing as well.
Tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. You know what's the best? A good high school football game. This is a lot of fun. 8 minutes to go.
And 2 elite teams, and
Yep.
it's a treat. It's really fun to watch.
In case you're just tuning in because someone texted you and said, hey, come watch the end of this game. Mead and Cheney, both 5-1. Mead, the number 1 scoring offense in the Greater Spokane League. Cheney, the number 1 defense. And here come the Blackhawks to return. Big hit. Kyle Killman with the hammer for the Panthers on D.
Big time collision. Both players pop right back up.
Oh, ow. Clean, though.
Yeah,
Very clean as a whistle.
That's what the ice tub's for after the game.
Mead star defender number 20, Garrett Miller, turning towards the fans in the student section. getting his arms in the air saying, we can't hear you.
And Stinson is back in the game for Cheney. Now, we'll see how he runs, because it looked like he twisted his ankle, but Stinson, big play Stinson's in the game.
First down for the Blackhawks. Up the middle. Nothing doing. Garrett Miller in the backfield on the tackle.
Yeah, Mead is fired up.
And Cooper Danes.
That momentum created by the offense has carried over the defense, at least on this first play. And you're at home, you've got the bigger crowd. Mead is fired up.
Parents and student section are pounding their feet, making some noise here at Union on these metal bleachers. Yet hard to hear.
Cheney can ill afford a 3-and-out. Mead would love a 3-and-out.
2nd and 9. Connor Collins running, looking to throw into coverage, and it's Tank Best across the 50. What a play.
Roll out, a flood route, and what Tank Best did is he realized when he was open in that zone defense, don't keep running, just square up. Show your numbers to your quarterback. High point it. Really nicely done.
Tice Tuggle there quickly for another one-on-one takedown. Into Mead territory. Cheney has the momentum again now. First down. Chris Wilson outside. Mead had him on the edge.
And now, situationally, even though it's a one-possession game, if you're Cheney, you want to stay in bounds. It's more important to give up a yard and stay in bounds so the clock ticks rather than go out of bounds and gain 1 or 2 extra yards.
This next play, if they take the clock all the way down, would get us inside the 6-minute mark. 2nd and 7 for Connor Collins. The GSL's leading rusher, Chris Wilson, in the backfield with him. Plenty of time. Danes rushing, middle. It's Tank Best. Down inside the 15. They go to him again. He's inside the 10. Here come the Blackhawks looking for another extension of that lead.
Yeah, and Tank in the slot position, and he knew exactly what to do. Run at the safety and split that area in the middle between the 2 safeties. Perfectly executed, and then look at yards after contact.
Touchdown might not end this game, but it makes it a lot harder for Mead. Goal to go from the 5. Collins to Wilson on his feet. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play. Mead defense makes a stand as this will take us well inside 5 minutes now.
The key for Cheney, ball security, keep the clock running, and come away with a touchdown.
Unlike the first half, though, late in the half, both teams still have all 3 timeouts.
And let's look at the clock management now. So 30 seconds on the play clock. If you're Cheney, you should be snapping this ball inside 5 seconds on every play on the play clock.
2nd and goal from the 7. Collins over the middle. Dumped it away. Surprised he didn't go for Stinson, who was on the right side of the field.
Stinson's been big play all night.
This is potentially the biggest 3rd down of the night so far.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Stinson's plays, doing the math, 2 40-yard touchdowns and 75 yards of offense. He's got to be approaching 200 yards in this game receiving.
3rd and goal. The junior quarterback, Connor Collins. And Cheney will take that first time out. Mike, got a good call?
Yep, it's clock management. And take a look at what the defense is showing you in this 3rd down situation.
We'll take one more break. The climax is next between 5 and 1. Cheney and Mead deep in Mead territory. High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. Inside 5 minutes to go. Cheney is inside the Mead 10-yard line. Blackhawks up 17-14 late. A touchdown here makes this way harder for the Mead Panthers to mount a comeback late. But if Mead's defense can get a stop, the Panthers and their sensational backup quarterback, Evan Drew, have a chance. Cheney from the Mead 7. This will change the face of the game. 3rd and goal. Connor Collins to throw. Got his target. Touchdown! Mason Stinson, their 3rd touchdown together tonight.
Killer combo. Collins to Stinson.
About as good as it gets.
It is definitely as good as it gets. That crosser underneath. You flood it out into the end zone and put Stinson underneath, about 2-3 yards down the field, catch the ball and glide into the end zone. I think it's fair to say his ankle's okay.
Kate Adderley, phenomenal tonight. Kind of misjudged the timing of that snap, I think. Still manages to put it through. Here you go again, Mike.
There's that crosser.
And he looked off the defense. Did you see his eyes?
Yes, he did.
That's pretty high level. Really impressive.
That's the EWU Eagle effect that the Division I program in your backyard is having on this Cheney team.
Watching what he does here. Well, that's Stinson. Also really impressive. Great celebration. Here we go again. Yeah, he didn't move his head. That's hard to read.
No, he looked straight ahead and caught Stinson out of the corner of his eye, and he did not tip the throw. That is next level stuff.
Really impressive for this Cheney team. Talk about buying stock in this program.
And excellent eye, Greg, to pick that up.
I learned it from you, Mike. Learned from the best. All right, so now all of a sudden, all the pressure comes onto this Mead Panthers team. Coming into this game, the number 1 scoring offense in the Greater Spokane League, held, as you can see, to just 14 points tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns from the great Max Fagau. Hasn't gotten a ton of help. Fumbled return, and Tice Tuggle picks it up. Mr. Johnny on the spot gets up to the 23-yard line. But now all of a sudden, this is a titanic task for the backup quarterback, Evan Drew. 10 points in 4.5 minutes. Mead does have all 3 timeouts, but you got to get down the field here.
And Mead has a very deliberate cadence to their offense. Not now. This is 4-minute drill time, as they say in the NFL. 4-minute drill. And that deliberateness, you've got to really manage the clock now offensively.
Evan Drew. Pressure, screen play, didn't get rid of it. Does get out of bounds, though, very smart, so they don't have to burn a timeout.
Yep, got as many yards as he could upfield, got out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Second down.
No gain, stop the clock, the equivalent of throwing an incomplete pass. And unless it's 4th and 20 or 25, everything's 4-down territory now.
2nd and 10. Oh, that's going to be on the offense. That's tough for Mead.
Try busters.
2nd and 15. They already knew you were going to pass, but now they can drop back even more guys.
They certainly can. Or bring a little more pressure.
Pick your poison.
Well, 3-man rush. 4 linebackers across.
You got to be thinking deep to Lee Colombe here at some point. 2nd and 15. That's Colombe at the bottom of your screen.
It's a 3-3-5.
Drew looking, stepping. He's got Colomb in the middle of the field. Taken down. Stopped by Progress. I think he probably got 7 or 8 before they pushed him back, though.
Yeah, they did. That for Progress right there.
They're going to give him more than that. Wow. All right.
Defensive back for Cheney trying to ball hawk. Rip that ball out. Wasn't successful.
3rd down and 4. It's Drew. Fagao behind Dustin Johnson. They nearly had him from behind, and it's a big first down. Mead needed that one.
Yeah, and if you ask why did Mead not pass, when you've got someone like Fagao and it's 3rd down, you've got to get the first down and move the chains. And there is this sense of urgency now with Mead. The plays are coming in much faster.
1st and 10, they'll do it again. Drew, deep, double coverage. Pass interference. Lee Colomb knew what he was doing, very wise.
Yes, he did. Now at the high school level, it's line of scrimmage, automatic first down, 15 yards. So that'll put the ball just across midfield.
Mead would have preferred NFL rules there, don't you think?
Or college, yes.
Take it all the way down.
At the high school level, if you're a DB coach, if you're beat long, just tackle the
Just
guy.
pull him.
It's only 15 yards.
Just pull him.
Yeah, 15 yards is better than. I'd like to see that rule change at the high school level, but I'm not sure if it ever will.
Seven Cheney penalties. They piled up a little bit here in the second half. Drew. Pocket collapsing. He'll run. Got near the markers. Mike, did he have to run there? It looked like he might have had it out on the left.
Didn't necessarily have to. He's got good speed, and he's able to get down the field and out of bounds. He's slippery in the pocket.
Yep. Got 8 or 9 on the play.
Impressive.
You can always have an onside kick, and you have 3 timeouts if you're Mead. This thing is not done yet, but you got to get in Donovan Damiano range here for a field goal at very least. If you're the Panthers, ideally an over-the-top touchdown. Colomb in motion. Play action. Dump it off. Tipped away. Wow, Cheney did not bite. Very impressive. It was Jacob Unfred who did it. And Jackson Randall.
Clock management has been really good for me. 3:19 on the clock. This started with 4:39 or 4:38, so only a minute 20 has come off, and they've moved the chains.
3rd and 2. Third down play. Fagao did it.
Move the chains, stop the clock.
But Cheney knows what's coming. They're going to look for Cooper Smith or Lee Colomb at some point here deep. First down. Evan Drew looking. Has time, and here comes the pocket. Looks like we just had a trip up there. He was looking for Fagao, who kind of fell over as he turned around.
Yeah, it was kind of that spin to get to the sideline. I think he just lost his balance and fell down.
Very least it stops the clock. 3 minutes is time.
And not a catchable ball thrown that far out of bounds. Although that's not the rule at the high school level, but that's in general how it's called. So good no call.
Cheney brings 3. Drew. Caught! And down he goes. Clock will run. Bryce DeLang, tackle of the night for the Blackhawks.
And this is typically where you would use one of your timeouts. As you get the negative, all your receivers are downfield. The clock continues to tick.
3rd down and a mile. They have to get all the way down to the 24. Evan Drew with an arm! Off the hands of Kyle Kilman in coverage. He found his guy. They just didn't hook up.
Yeah, and from a play design, typically especially over the middle, you don't want 2 blue shirts in the same vicinity, and you don't want to draw 3 white shirts in the vicinity. That's tough duty if you're a receiver.
All right, 4th down in about 20.
Timeout on Mead.
21 to be exact for Mead coming out of this timeout. This thing is not done yet, but Evan Drew will have to make the most important pass of his young career.
And that's why Cheney's using their timeout defensively. You may want to bring the pressure on this and have a spy on Drew.
This portion of tonight's game on SWX is brought to you in part by Perfection Tire and Auto Repair. Nobody beats perfection. Neither team feels like they played perfectly tonight, Mike Peterson, but Cheney's going to be happy if they can pull this thing off.
Huge win for the Cheney program, and especially where they've been the last few years. Yeah, this will, if Cheney wins, and we'll look at the rest of their schedule if we have time, this is making a huge statement. And there's that classic worst to first. They could make that happen this year. Not winning a game last year.
All right. Evan Drew. Landon Thomas is out on crutches. 4th and 21 for Evan Drew to try to keep this game alive for Mead. Everyone's back for the Blackhawks. Drew will throw to the sideline. He had Lee Colombe. It wouldn't have been quite far enough. And that'll be a turnover.
Intended for Lee Colombe.
3 deep in the back defensive backfield
First and 10.
for the Cheney Blackhawks. You're not going to get beat over the top. And mathematically, unless something strange happens, this game is mathematically very close to being in the books for the Blackhawks.
It would take a punch out at very least, or a strip away.
Yeah, especially being a 2-possession game. 2 timeouts left for Mead. Here you just keep the ball on the ground. Force the Panthers. First 2 plays, you're out of timeouts. Milk the clock. Worst case, punt it away and make Mead go long distance and try to get 2 scores.
This Cheney squad beat Lewis and Clark in double overtime to start the season, which should have been a clue to everybody that they had made some progress over the summer. Then beat Ridgeline and Ferris, not a surprise. Lost to Gonzaga Prep in week 4. Then rattled off wins against Shadle and CV. This is the second monumental game they had seen on their schedule this year. To come away with potentially a double-digit win, what a wake-up call to the rest of the GSL.
Yeah, and you look at G Prep. I mean, G Prep, we know
that's its own thing.
They're vying.
That's its own thing.
They're vying for a state title. But if you look at that margin of victory, that's the tightest a team has played against Gonzaga Prep as well. So I'm not saying it's a moral victory, but what it is, if you're looking at comparative scores, that's very impressive.
There's a Greater Spokane League standings. Cheney 3A, Mead 4A. So what this does is it allows Cheney to stay within punching distance in 1 game of the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. Makes the playoff picture a little hazier for the Mead Panthers, though.
It does. And this, if Gonzaga wins tonight, Mead loses, and there's that run game. We'll see another timeout here. Then the 4A teams, you're 2 games behind. Mead 2 games behind Gonzaga Prep, which means you have to beat Prep and have someone else give you help beating Prep.
Mead still has to play G Prep. That is the late October game of the year for this squad. So when this game is done, flush it, move on to next week. But man, that makes that a real do-or-die game against the Bullpups for Mead.
Yeah, it certainly does. So after first down, timeout was called. After second down, timeout is called. Here we are 3rd down, and just run the clock down, and Cheney says, let's take a timeout. Milk every bit of time off that game clock.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Cheney. They are going to be thrilled about this one. They, of course, will also flush this one. after tonight. Let's see what's coming up for the Blackhawks after this big win. U High, that's a game they should win. Now that is a good Halloween weekend game at Mount Spokane. Holy cow.
Yeah, and that could very well settle the 3A title, depending on what Mount Spokane does.
Likely should. Mount Spokane beat Mead in the Battle of the Bell here late in a low-scoring game 2 weeks ago. So Cheney, chance to knock off the team that knocked off Mead. That's going to be a good game as well.
That'll be a great one. That'll settle the 3A title.
One would think.
Yeah, if it plays out, and never take anything for granted.
3rd and 4. Looks like they got that by a matter of inches as they pushed it over the line.
Brought down by Cooper Smith.
The near side official is walking to the right side of the stripe. The far side official is right at the stripe.
I feel like you reached it over, but I guess we'll see.
It looked like it from here, and I'm looking right down the 45-yard line. And the far side official would have the better view. All he has to do is penetrate that stripe, and this game would be in the books.
Okay, down is 4. We have timeout. Final timeout.
Final timeout for the Mead Panthers. And speaking of Mead, let's take a look at their upcoming schedule. See what they have on tap after this disappointing loss that was very hard fought. Oh, look. All right, that is quite the turnaround. October 24th against Gonzaga Prep. You know that game will be here on SWX.
How well do you rebound after a tough, emotional game like this and play at Prep on their home field next week? It's a tall order.
That is a really good home atmosphere for G Prep. Kind of an overlooked home atmosphere over there.
Oh, it is. Yeah, the fans, the turnout at Prep is phenomenal.
It's really good.
And the history of the field, and it's a tight setting, and you're playing juggernaut Gonzaga Prep, who just knows how to win games in the GSL. Gonzaga Prep's last GSL loss goes back several years.
Long time. Yeah, long time. 1:14 to go in this one here at Union Stadium. 24-14 is our score. We are measuring out there to see if this game is over or not, essentially.
You may want to take your binocs and take a peek at this measurement. This is going to be inches one way or the other.
Here we go. Is this game over yet or not? Short. 4th and an inch.
One. And there you have it. Great camera work. So essentially, if you're Cheney, if you think you can get to that stripe, if you can get that 1-2 inches and get to the stripe, then you take a knee, go to victory formation.
What will Cheney do? Will they punt? Will they run a wildcat? Looks like they'll, well, hard to tell actually in this situation. That's Collins, the quarterback. Head of steam, spun down. That looks like that's the ball game.
That will do it.
And that was Tank Best with the knife in the heart. 24-14 is going to be the ending of this game. A pair of 5-1 teams, and Cheney will emerge victorious.
Well, I think head coach Aaron Best, Eastern Eagles, he named his kid appropriately, the Tank.
What a tank.
And he was a tank on that play. And Coach Best, if you're watching this game, you should have a big smile on your face. Tank played very nice tonight.
A couple big plays in the 4th quarter. So important. Victory formation, and there it is. Cheney beats Lewis and Clark in double OT. Ridgeline, Ferris loses to Prep, knocks off Shadle, CV, and in their most head-to-head intense match yet, Mike Peterson, a double-digit win over the Mead Panthers. Who saw that coming this year?
No one did coming into the season. We knew Cheney would be improved. Cheney has not only made strides, they have made strides and leaps.
That's it. The Cheney Blackhawks do it. 24-14 your final score at Union Stadium. And the Cheney Blackhawks have arrived.
Yes, they have, and they're sniffing. They're sniffing at winning that 3A first seed. Get past University High School, get past Mount Spokane. They will be the number 1 3A seed going into the playoffs.
Tonight's player of the game on SWX is presented by Findlay Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay. Couple of options for the Cheney Blackhawks, but Mike, you gotta give it to Connor Collins. What a quarterback performance.
Yeah, no interceptions tonight. Just threw darts over the top. A lot of passes to, Stinson with his 3 touchdowns, a 39-yard, a 40-yard, a 5-yarder, and don't forget about that 70-yard big play bomb that opened up one of those touchdowns, or actually the field goal. So what a night for the Cheney offense and defense. What a night for Connor Collins.
How about that, folks? We are not done with our weekend of football here on the great SWX. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for Big Sky football as the Idaho Vandals travel to Cheney for a great rivalry game. You look forward to it every year as they take on the Eastern Eagles. Kickoff set for 4 o'clock. Eagles and Vandals live tomorrow only on SWX, your home for local sports. Mike Peterson, what did we learn tonight?
Well, we learned, as we've said all game long, Cheney has arrived, and Mead, this is a tough loss at home. Mead's going to have to regroup and go to Gonzaga Prep next week and try to play a cleaner game.
2 5-1 teams enter, 1 6-1 team emerges, and it's your Cheney Blackhawks as we start to head down the home stretch of the regular season. Can't wait to see how this plays out in the GSL, because this was a statement and program-defining win for Cheney. A competitive game, a physical game, and it was a good one. Cheney comes away with the win tonight, 24-14 for the great Mike Peterson and the rest of our excellent SWX crew. My name's Greg Talbot saying so long from Union Stadium in Mead. We'll see you next time after a monumental win for this Cheney program.